Hi everybody, Radical Gardener. I'm outside. Look at the sky. Jesus, it is beautiful. Let me see if I can tighten this up a bit. Yeah, that works. No, do not be barking at me. Okay, so today's video is about what would I do different during a hurricane besides leave. But some really good things here. You know, this is, you know, you can think you're prepared, and then until you actually go through the event, that's when you know if you were right or not. Like, what is actually, you know, boots on the ground? What is it that you should have done differently? You know, what's really important here, right? Okay, so let's start off with this. No, you should see how cute this is. My dog stands on the back of the couch and looks through the window and barks at me. No does not mean anything. No. Okay, you might have to listen to that for a minute. She does stop. Okay, I have a transistor radio and a weather radio. I have more batteries than God himself. I mean, I have been buying batteries forever. And the fact that I didn't remember I had a transistor radio and a weather radio through this madness is crazy. I know now, and I will never forget. So that's number one. If you can find a transistor radio, get one. I mean, listen, you know, I was more prepared when Joe was alive because he got his ham radio license, you know, so that he could operate that. And we had that all set up in our garage at our last house. So, you know, and then we had a lot of tools. I mean, I got rid of a lot of things because of what I'm moving into, and also what, you know, my capability of what I feel I can comfortably use and not use. And so, you know, and I have your basic wrenches and hammer and all that kind of stuff, but we had a lot of extra stuff that Joe had collected through the years, which I just really did get rid of. And I did get rid of the ham radio. I don't want my license. I don't even know if I could get it. It's really difficult. It's not that easy. There's math involved. There's a lot of things involved. Really, where my brain doesn't really like to go. I guess I could make myself learn it, but I just don't have any desire to. But anyway, so yes, transistor radio, weather radio. I have one. I have batteries. It will be suited up and ready to go next time. And if for some reason I get in my van and take off, they're going with me, because you never know. Okay, so next, let me tell you what I did that did really freaking work. And I picked it up on a prepper site, and it is, I had a couple of plastic gallon jugs, and I filled them up and froze them and kept them in the freezer. So when the power went out, and our power was not out for a long time, thank you very much, Governor Ron DeSantis, was not, down for very long. It was only down from 3 in the morning until 11 the next morning. If you can even believe that. There were power trucks everywhere. And no, I'm telling nobody could believe, because everybody was telling me, oh yeah, it's going to be like, 8 days to 2 weeks before you get power. And I thought, oh boy, okay, here we go. Maybe I will take a road trip, okay? So anyway, so I put those in my freezer, and oh my God, they were frozen. I took them out and put them in my sink. They were frozen 4 days later. It was crazy. I mean, it was crazy how long that lasted, and it kept my freezer cold. So next time I'm going to get about 10 bags of ice, because I have a freezer, like a separate freezer. So the ice is going to go in there. I'm going to have a couple of jugs filled with water, so that if we don't have power for a while, I can prolong maybe losing any proteins. I didn't. Our power came back on right away because I had, taken some steps to keep it cold. It worked. All right, next. The van was prepped, but I'm going to fully prep it. So I just haven't had a chance. I've been doing a lot of catch up, so I am going going to definitely do that, and just so everything is in there. You know, right now I've got my first aid kit. I have enough food for 2 months, you know, but I'll put boxed milk in there. I'll put, you know, a lot of things. And, you know, I really don't know how everything in my van works. You know, I bought this in January and my life was in such turmoil. And so next week I'm going through the van. I'm actually going to make an appointment with the RV center. I'm going to have them walk me through it. They walked me through it in December, but I was just numb in December and I couldn't retain any information. And yes, I know there's a book, but I rather just, I'm better hands-on having somebody explain it all to me. So that is definitely on my list of things to do. And really know, because it's solar. I mean, you know, I can go and really live off grid for a minute and a half, you know. So that's on my list. Okay, I have a little barbecue, which is right behind me, but I also have a fire pit, and I'm actually looking around for a cover to put over the fire pit because, you know, I'm in between 2 RVs. I really don't want to burn anything down, but I'm going to grab some bricks. I already have like a grill that will sit on top of it so that I can cook in a big way outside. Now I can again on this little barbecue, but it would be cool if I could do it on that pit. And, you know, I have tons of charcoal, so that's cool. I've got tons of lighter fluid. I've got, I saved my lint from my dryer, which is a great fire starter. I have that. But if the wind is blowing and it's raining out, it doesn't do me much good now, does it? No. So how do you cook your food? Well, I don't know. There's different ways. You can have little stoves that, you know, that we actually have, like, you know, in our prepper kit, or Joe and I had in our prepper kit. I'm kind of uncomfortable using them. I don't want to use it indoors. I just feel it's unsafe. But what I do have, and I really didn't miss not being able to cook, is I have tons of, I went and made sure I had mass fresh fruit, but I also have a lot of dehydrated fruit, a lot of it. And so, and I have boxed milk. You don't need refrigeration for boxed milk. Hemp milk is my favorite. I have rice milk, but I like hemp milk better. And I probably have like a year's worth of granola. So I ate granola with fruit and hemp milk, and it was just delicious. I have all kinds of honey, maple syrup, what have you. It was just delicious. I really didn't miss it. I couldn't like eat meat or whatever. And the other thing that I discovered is, you know, and I mean, I order sometimes iced coffee, you know, from a coffee shop, but you know, I had leftover coffee and I thought, oh damn, and I went, wait a minute, that's iced coffee. So I drank my coffee cold. It had hemp milk, a little stevia in it. It was delicious. So I have 2 huge thermoses, and I'm going to make up 2 thermoses with cold coffee and hemp milk and stevia, so it's just good to go, and I can pour it. And there you go, you know, and that'll get me through, you know, 3 or 4 days. So, and also I'm going to do the same with tea. I'm going to do a gallon of tea, have it in the refrigerator so that, you know, if that's something I want, it's okay if it's cold, right? All right. I'll tell you what I will do next is I'll take my wind chimes down. Oh my God. So I forgot to have my wind chimes up, and I have like 3 of them, and they're loud. And those things never fell off, fell apart, and they blew for 36 hours. Do you think my neighbors hate me? So I will remember to take those down, I'm just saying. Okay. All right. So water. I have my water delivered. I have a Berkey. My Berkey right now is over at my studio. If this happened again, I'd actually grab my Berkey and I'd bring it back home, but it's at my studio because we actually charge water for people to drink for their sessions. So it's the only way we can give them clean water. But my water is delivered. I'm always 3 ahead of 5-gallon jugs of water. So what that means is I usually have 5 or 6 jugs of water. Oh, that's a lot of water. We'd have to be out of water for a long time because basically I would just be drinking my water. You know, the way that I would wash clothes is I have a tub, not like a tub, a metal tub, and I have a plunger and I have a washboard, and you can wash clothes like that. And I have plenty of detergent. So, you know, it's not like I don't live by water. We have a river, we have, you know, we have an ocean, not that I go to the ocean during a hurricane or anything, but, you know, and it's salt, but, you know, there's water around, but I always have a lot of water. You know, I have a thing about water, that I have way more than I think I need. And then make sure all your clothes are washed. I did, you know, I have a brand new washer and dryer in my shed. And so I made sure that, you know, my clothes were clean. You know, I didn't have to worry about that. You know, I had, you know, 2 dry pairs of tennis shoes in my van in case you know, my shoes or something got wet. So yeah, so that's basically it. I'm sure I'll think of some other things, but that's really what came up, you know, during this last, you know, storm. And so it was really valuable. You know, it was really, really valuable. I mean, I learned a lot. Yeah, I also talked to my neighbor, and he left. He went and stayed in a hotel, and he said, did you stay? And I said, yeah. And I said, only 2 pots broke. I said, you know, I really got out unscathed. And he said, yeah, I left. And he said, I'm more worried about the tornadoes it spins off. And I never even thought about tornadoes. I mean, I never thought about it, you know. I mean, again, I'm a novice when it comes to this stuff. And so I was so lucky, you know, that those things didn't happen because I was very naive about it all. But live and learn. Hopefully you live through it. What is crazy, I think I might have talked about this already, but I mean, 2 days later, I was driving around here and you couldn't even tell there was a storm. You couldn't even tell it rained. It was really something else. I mean, the cleanup here. We have a sunken hole on, what is it that runs along the ocean? Is it A1A that runs along the ocean? And so that's Flagler Beach. And so we have kind of a sinkhole there, but they're busy repairing that. And we lost the end of our pier, which is a drag. It's, you know, Flagler Beach is really known for that pier, and it's gone before and it'll be gone again. That happened, but basically just about everybody's power came back on right away. You know, there were a couple of spots that for some reason, you know, they just couldn't get to it, or maybe, you know, a pole was, you know, if a pole gets blown over or a transformer gets blown up or something like that, it takes a longer period of time to get it fixed. Minky, that's no. She's barking at the cats now. So, that's really, you know, all that happened. They've already rebuilt the bridge to Pine Island. Are you kidding me? And that was days ago. Unbelievable. They have a lot of rebuilding to do. Fort Myer, Cape Coral. Jeez, oh Pete. There's people that somebody was just telling me that they have family in Cape Coral and they still can't get out of their house. I don't know. Somebody was telling me that on Facebook. Yeah. Anyway, storms. You listen, there's nowhere safe. If you think you live somewhere safe, no such thing as safe. There's no such thing as safe. You just prepare, you know. I mean, Michigan, I lived in Michigan. There are tons of tornadoes. You know, they're going to be dealing with really serious temperatures, cold temperatures. You know, if the grid goes down, you know, how are you going to keep warm if you don't have a fireplace? Yeah, I mean, you know, it's just, I mean, nowhere is safe. You know, Seattle's earthquakes. I lived in Seattle, there's earthquakes, right? There's nowhere safe. Just forget it. I mean, you know, and then, you know, you think about, well, you could go to like to Tennessee, and you could go to, you know, to Missouri, when you've got the Madrid, you know, the is that what it's called? God, I'm spacing it. You know, the earthquake has earthquake potential there. Is it called the New Madrid? Is that it? So, yeah, nowhere's safe. Forget it. You know, you live on the coast. You know, you could, you know, you're going to deal with storms. You know, you live north. You're going to deal with, you know, winter storms. You know, if you live in Kansas, you're going to deal with tornadoes. I mean, it's just, there's nowhere safe. So you prepare and you live in the moment, and that's just the lesson for life, right? Okie dokie, Smokey. All right, so that's it for me today. I am the Radical Gardener, sending you a ton of love. Yeah, may your garden always grow. I don't know if you can see all my plants, but that's going to be one of the videos this week. I did a lot of work last week, and it's looking pretty damn good. Okay, you guys, see you later. Bye.